Good morning, it's Kinninigan. Please share, like, subscribe. What I'm about to tell you, I'm not supposed to talk about on this platform, but I will anyway. So if you could buy me a pack of cigarettes, I'll appreciate it. This is a topic. Let me explain what's going on here. First of all, what's really going on in the mainstream and alternative news. In my whole feed, what drugs is Joe Biden going to be on for the fucking debate, whatever, and people trying to figure out what's going on with the psychopaths behind the acolyte at Disney. Well, that's easy to figure out too. Like I said, if you could support the channel, I will give you the real truth. The reason, not just people at Lucasfilm, because the agenda they're pushing actually ties directly into what I'm about to tell you. I've been threatened by Google already because I left a comment on a Star Wars video game because I just got sick of hearing everyone talking about go woke, go broke, and they're trying to figure out what's this agenda about. What the hell does diversity have to do with uglifying women in video games and making them look like small boys? Oh, I might have said too much there. And my comment was removed by Google, and I was basically told, keep your fucking mouth shut. You don't get a warning like this from Google unless you are over the target. And they accuse me of hate speech for that. I'm going to tell you something right now. What have they never accused Donald Trump of? Money laundering and child trafficking. You want to know why? Those are subjects the deep state do not want brought up, even on their enemies. Yeah, they're at war against Christians, patriots, men who have the ability to sexually satisfy an adult woman. Yeah, this has to do with the psychopaths at Lucasfilm. They got fucking mental issues. Okay, because Leslie Headland and Kathleen Kennedy can't do two things. They cannot become working legitimate witches, and they will never experience the bliss of a female orgasm. Do I need to keep going on in detail about that? So there's a big streamer out here, DrDisrespect. He was banned from Twitch in 2020. No one knows why. There was an NDA signed with the employees of Twitch, but supposedly he was paid out on his contract. And now, when this was going on, him and I think the other guy, Nick Merckx, were two like Call of Duty players. He's a big streamer. He actually is the biggest streamer. And it looks like the left is fucked up. Well, specifically, an employee at Twitch has fucked up. There are certain topics that you do not talk about. I guess the elite didn't give them the message over at Twitch. One, do not accuse your enemies of being pedophiles. Do not accuse them of money laundering. And don't bring up fraudulent signatures on executive orders. But, yeah. Hey, there is a picture at my Patreon and my locals. I cannot show you on YouTube that gives you 100% proof that somebody in a very high level of government is 100% guilty of fucking treason, impersonating a federal employee, period. That's all I'm saying. And what pisses me off is I have no one to go to with this. Not just me, other people. I didn't make the meme. There are quite a few of us that know about this. Yet nobody in Congress. I don't know what the fuck they do in Congress all day. Nobody has thought to maybe go validate one of the executive orders that Biden has signed. You can't bring a fucking signed baseball to Rick at Pawn Stars before he's bringing in a signature expert to verify it. Whatever. I'm getting upset. Like I said, if you can support the channel, I do need cigarettes. So, what's Dr. It has recently come out. Dr. Disrespect says he's taking an indefinite break. A former Twitch employee has accused him of sexting an underage girl when he was over at Twitch on their experimental messenger app, although they don't have proof of this. The point I'm making, this is not a subject that you should be accusing. I guess the people at Twitch didn't get the message. Why do you think even with the Orange Man, they had to use a porn star to get him on the sexual deviancy angle. Why do you think they didn't want to bring up anything with his daughters? I'm talking about Trump. When supposedly there's a diary floating out there from one of Biden's daughters about what happened with shower time. These are subjects you're not supposed to talk about. They don't want them on the public's mind. They don't want people talking about them. And somebody really just fucked up at Twitch. That is the one line, it's open season on patriots, conservatives, Christians, anyone who has a fucking normal IQ and normal sense of decency and morals. But there are certain things you do not accuse them of. One is money laundering. You want to know? Read between the lines on that one. Two is, I would say drug use even to an extent. But it's well known that Trump doesn't even barely drink alcohol. Whatever. That's all that's on the fucking news today. The people are trying to take bets on what drug cocktail Joe Biden's going to be on for the fucking debate. That's pathetic. I could hop on a live stream any time of the day and do a 2-hour lecture on reptilians just off the top of my head. Maybe I should be running for president. You think the elite hate Trump? You haven't seen nothing yet. Trump doesn't talk about secret societies. He has talked about trafficking. I tell you right now, that's why they hate him in the first place. And he shut down a lot of their quote-unquote money laundering. I come from Philadelphia. All the blue cities are big money harvesting operations. Yeah. Why do you think all the minority people are walking away from the Democrats in the hood? They're not stupid. So, yeah, now DrDisrespect. I told you the other day, anyone, I don't care what you've been doing, I don't care if you're a video game streamer, I don't care if you sit on the fence, you don't talk about politics, you won't talk about this or that, or you sat on the fence about the sticky thing and you thought you are not safe. If you have an audience, they are after you, period. If you do not 100% toe the line, these are not communists, because communists do not push LGBTQ in their own fucking countries. Go look at China and Russia. This is something different. They don't even know what the hell they are. And now it seems like a lot of them are just becoming unhinged, and they will be shut down. This is not a topic that you bring up for your quote-unquote enemies, and they know this. Okay? So, I don't know that. I'm not defending DrDisrespect. I don't know what the hell he did 4 years ago. But we do know that the guy who claims to have information on him is also on Twitter telling people how they can't criticize Taylor Swift, who's obviously a dude. So, yeah, he's fanboying for a Transformer on Twitch because he's in a band or something. And he was trying to tell people if they come to his shows, he'll tell them the real reason why DrDisrespect was banned off Twitch. And he's trying to tell people it had to do with sexting a minor. Yeah, this is not a topic you accuse your enemies of. I guess they didn't get the fucking message. I expect this Twitch employee to get shut down real quick. This is not a topic they want on people's minds. They want them talking about. It's the same thing with the Transformer agenda. Some of us can see it plain as day as to what Kathleen Kennedy really is and Leslie Headland, but no, you got to keep your fucking mouth shut about it. You're crazy. The Biden administration has just created a task force to combat cheap fake videos on the internet. Yeah, you got a video of Joe Biden stuttering on stage, shitting his pants, freezing up in the camera. Yeah, you might have the anti-cheap fake task force coming out to your house and kicking down your door now because you don't support the regime. And anyone who has a voice on any social media platform, I don't care if you're a fence sitter or not, I don't care if you believe the propaganda you've been fed about Trump or not, if you're too fucking blind to see what's going on, you're a target. And they will start shutting people down who do not toe the regime 1,000%. One of the biggest Star Wars fan theory channels on his platform, Star Wars Theory. He's a guy, he does not like Disney Star Wars. He's being attacked by Disney right now. They're not accusing him of being with young kids or money laundering because that is not something that you talk about, period. Um, I know a little bit more than what I'm actually saying, but I have to watch what I say on this platform. Just saying. Um, why do you think I let people know that I smoke marijuana openly and even do it on stream sometimes? So I would never have to worry about some deep state asshat coming into one of my live streams and going, he smokes weed. You can't believe what he says about reptilians. Yeah, I smoke weed. And you know what? A lot of my subs support it, and by admitting that I do smoke weed, it's only paid off for me in the years. That's all I'm saying. I've gotten some gifts. Big deal. That's the other thing I'm running short of. We just got out of a week long heat wave in Philadelphia. So seriously, if you could support my channel, my air conditioning bill, I'm afraid I'm afraid of what it's going to be next month. I'm not kidding. I have my cats barely made it through. Well, Macy actually barely made it through. She's a Mancoon. She is very fuzzy. I brushed her a few times to get all the shedding fur off her, but she's still like panting. And finally, it cooled down a little bit. Um, quite honestly, I'm getting sick of a lot of the drama on the internet simply for the fact that they're losing the other side and they're getting very hostile and even violent. They are calling for quote unquote death threats to people about their criticisms of the acolyte. Disney puts out, and from what I understand, it has nothing to do with the diversity. It has nothing to do with women. Um, the show is just, it's written, it's a written bad. Like they're intentionally trolling people with this show. That's what I think. Why? Because they want to shut anyone down that has a voice who does not support the regime. So how do they do that? Well, good. They're going to get you talking about woke Disney. You a big streamer with 4.5 million subs on YouTube, like DrDisrespect? Did you speak up against the child thing going on a few years ago? Well, you got to go too. It's election year. I have no fucking idea what the Democrats have planned. I mean, God forbid you actually did anything for the people, right? God forbid the Democrats, I at least when Trump was in office, someone like me not doing good financially, I got $1,600 of rebates from Donald Trump when he was in office, a $1,200 stimulus check and a $600 one, because I upgraded my computer with it. So I put the money to good use. What did I get from the Biden administration? I can't afford fucking steaks and bacon anymore. That's all the fuck I got. A lot of us, right? A lot of us had to cut down eating 3 meals a day to two. Yeah, I'm going to get very angry. And now I think the left has become so unhinged, they're going to have to be reined in. The reason why they recruited these people to push an agenda, first of all, because they're psychopaths. Kathleen Kennedy has got a huge vendetta on the world. Like I said, she cannot experience the bliss of being loved as a woman by a real man. And she cannot be a practicing witch. So, yeah, she's got a real big fucking vendetta. And Steven Spielberg and George Lucas knew what the hell she was when they brought her in their circle. They knew what Swamp Thing was. I'm not even allowed to talk about what symbolism Spielberg puts in his movies. Dr. Jones and your sidekick, all the Amlin Entertainment. Almost sounds like All right, there's a someone on YouTube a few years ago made a video about Amblin Entertainment and the symbolism in it. That documentary was taken down in the New York second. You want to know why? because it was about a subject, like I said, you were told to keep your mouth shut about. It doesn't exist. It's not happening. If you see it happening, you're fucking crazy. You got this administration denying that almost 100,000 children have gone missing over the border in the past few years, and that's all I'm allowed. That's all I could say about it. So it looks like the left is really becoming unhinged. Well, this is why we were trying to warn you for years. You just stuck your fingers in your ears, going, you didn't want to hear it that you're useful idiots for the regime, and they will get rid of you when you don't serve a purpose anymore. And now you are just getting a little too fucking obnoxious with your accusations and what you're flinging around the internet. And now you're starting to go into topics that you should be keeping your mouth shut about. And I am very serious about that. Money laundering and trafficking, specifically of little ones. Why do you think they never accused the Orange Man of doing one of those two things? They accused him of everything else. They accused him of being the fucking Antichrist. They never, yeah, think about that one. Human civilization in 2024. Does this really, um, you really expect me to believe that humans are the apex of intelligence in this fucking universe with this? This is the Daily News today. What's going on with the acolyte and what drugs is Joe Biden going to be on for his debate? And a big streamer trying to be taken down for supposedly something that these piece of shit scumbags engage in themselves every day. Yeah, and if you could read between the lines, like I said, here's my proof right here. I was threatened by fucking Google to keep my mouth shut about it. And there's a reason I have this screenshot. What really pisses me off is they accuse that hates, yeah, whatever. This is here. Look, I'll reload my YouTube feed. I try to watch other things, just other things pull up in my feed. it's just it's a mess. Uh, I'm done. I'm trying to be nice about that. I'm kind of burned out about the Princess Kate thing. I just 1431. Looks like YouTube has updated their interface. This is different. This is more mobile friendly. What the hell are you doing here? Does YouTube not realize that some of us out here actually have desktop computers and we don't work from a fucking smartphone in YouTube Studio all day? I don't know how you could. God bless you if you're running a YouTube channel from your smartphone. I can't do it. I can't even watch videos on my smartphone. I have big monitors. Why would I? Right? So yeah, you don't have to leave me comments on this subject. I'm not asking you to get banned off YouTube because if you talk about this subject, you will. But the fact that they are accusing DrDisrespect of sexting a minor, it's just something I'm telling you right now is not something you're supposed to accuse the other side of. You can accuse them of being, racist, this, that, islamophobes, misogynist, haters, whatever. That is just a line that you do not cross. Don't talk about trafficking and don't talk about money laundering. Even try to keep talk about drug use down to a minimal because they'd be hypocrites for that fucking one. Like I said, it's all that's going on at Fox News today. What drugs is Joe Biden going to be on for the? That's fucking pathetic. Seriously. Tell you what, give me an Adderall. I could probably write my book in 2 days. I'm not even joking. I don't have access to amphetamines. Stephen King, the guy that writes he writes a lot of books. That's not beyond. But he was asked how the hell he writes books so fast. He didn't actually say it. He was asked that by George R. R. Martin. in an interview. It's on YouTube. But the first thing Stephen King does is point to his nose. He doesn't say it. He points to his nose, and then he tells George this bullshit thing like, "Oh, I wake up in the morning, I put tea on, and I write 6 pages a day, regardless of." I well, he's another old lady with massive Trump derangement syndrome. That's why I don't even want to read any of his books anymore. That's one thing they don't want getting out into the public. This is why a lot of Hollywood actors and actresses are usually silent about that subject. This is why what really goes on with Disney is supposed to stay behind the scenes and not get talked about. I even had my own theories on why Gina Carano was fired. She probably ran into Kathleen Kennedy in the bathroom on the set of The Mandalorian one day. Probably, was in a bad mood. Saw Kathleen in there and said, "Shouldn't you be in the other bathroom where you piss standing up?" Yeah, they fired the only real woman. Well, Gina's got a lawsuit against Disney, and we're going to see Discovery soon. That's going to be interesting. I know why they fired her. It's pretty obvious. Listen, I'll tell you right now, and I'm not trying to be a pervert. It's a fact. No teenage boys out there going through puberty are pulling up pictures of Daisy Ridley, Amanda Steinberg, whatever her name is, the head chick on The Acolyte, Leslie Headland, Kathleen Kennedy. These are not chicks that people pull up for the spank bank. I wonder why. Princess Leia, that's a different story. Even Princess Amadilia from the prequel trilogy, she was showing her belly off. She was a hey. Then they get mad. Why? Yeah, tell me that men don't like women in sci-fi. Get the fuck out of here with that. I'm a massive Stargate fan. Amanda Tapping. Yeah, there goes a strong woman in sci-fi. Ridley, well, all right, Sigourney Weaver. She's maybe not the best example. Linda Hamilton too, but she got pretty buff for Terminator 2. I saw that in the movies when I was a teenager. Thank God. There was a time in this country where you can go to the movies every weekend. And there were different movies in the theaters, and they were all awesome. It's called the '90s and the '80s. Um, but if you notice now, I'll tell you what's going on. This whole agenda they're pushing is for depopulation. Period. There's a reason why in the 50s and 60s they were called quote unquote baby boomers after World War II, because the regime was trying to encourage people to have children. And how do you do that? Well, one, you put real sexy women in movies. There isn't even any sex in movies anymore. Have you noticed it? And there's another reason for that agenda that they were trying to push, because they don't have babies. So the fucking reptilians can get their new world order and get you pesky humans out of the way. And anyone who helped them do it along the way is going to have, you're going to be thrown to the side also. I don't know what you think you get at the end for serving Babylon. But like I said, right now, anyone who has a voice on any social media platform, they're coming after you if you do not support the regime 1,000% and everything they're about. So if you've been making videos about the woke agenda for a few years, don't think you're safe. The only strange thing is, I like to see where this DrDisrespect thing goes, because you are not supposed to talk about that subject or accuse other people of it. You're not supposed to have the public talking about it. It doesn't exist according to them. Yeah. So, yeah, YouTube changed their interface. This is more mobile friendly. Whatever. Anyway, I do not run ads on my videos, so if you could support the channel, I do need cigarettes. And I'll put the money towards my air conditioning bill for the past week. It was horrible. It was 100 degrees the other day. Not kidding. Um, I try to turn my air conditioner off and on to save money, but kind of hard to do when it's 100 degrees outside. Anyway, any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless and take care.